How's it going, everyone? We got Phil here. We got fourth place in our Final Fantasy tournament. 14 players tonight. And this is actually like, what was it? How many times you been here now?
This is my third event.
Third event, and we got fourth place. Good job. So why don't you walk us through your deck and what started it all?
All right, so this is it's a ninja deck list that I got from a tournament result from like a casual webcam tournament. I was looking for a deck I could just jump into the game. Friend told me that ninjas were cheap, and here we are. I copied the list almost exactly, and yeah. So just start talking about it?
Yeah, just start talking about it.
All right, so we'll start with the forwards. Again, so it's basically all ninjas, and we got 3 of Yuffie, cheap, efficient, and she can't be blocked by big things, 3 or greater, which is amazing. Same for Tsukinawa, they're really good for putting on pressure, also running him at a 3 of. Moving into the 2 drops already, Yugiri, I'm running at a 1 of. When she's useful, especially in like opening turns, she's great, and the break effect is awesome, but it's not always needed, so a 1 of seems pretty fine. And then next is the main card of the deck, Edge at 3 of. The deck revolves around him. When the ninjas come out, you get the shuriken counters, and not only that, he's discounting our ninjas and lets us not care about elements. Very important to making the deck run cheaply, efficiently, and give much needed removal for threats that hit the board. So on that note, the other card theme is a lot of things that can get haste. Tsukinawa's got haste. Yugiri's have an optional haste condition. This ninja at 3 of, also going for the edge and has haste. Moving into a couple not ninjas here in the 2 slots. We have... I have no idea how you say his name. Lud.
Yeah, Final Fantasy names. Lude?
Lude.
Lude.
Okay, that guy.
This guy right here that's half naked with wings.
And again, we like him because haste, and 7k is not a body sneeze at for 2. Kunshiro at 3 of, super good. I tend to find that in most games I don't have more than 3 backups when I'm pushing for a game-ending turn, so the minus power never hits. And that restand extra attack and subtract power can be super critical to pushing in much needed damage. Quite a fan of her. Moving into some 3 drops, we have Adele at 2 of, again haste, and just like Tsukinawa and Yuffie can provide some much needed pressure through being able to become unblockable. Very important. And then the second card that's super critical to this deck in my opinion, Zangetsu at 4. When he enters the field, we're doling things equal to our ninjas, and that can almost always mean game-ending turn unless they have something that can answer, like an Amaterasu.
You meant to say like at 3, right? 3 copies?
Yeah, sorry. Well, that 3 copies. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a 4 drop.
Yeah, but a 4 drop at 3 copies. Yeah.
No worries.
He's super game-ending, and like if people don't play around the fact that Zangetsu might hit, he can just win the game by himself. And the 5 drop slot for forwards, and we've got just the new Golbez at 3. We like him because he searches edge. That's basically the justification for him. And those are the forwards of the deck. So then pack those up real quick here so we can move on to the backups.
How long have you had this deck for?
3 weeks.
3 weeks. Okay, so from the get-go, huh?
Yeah. So the first play test was the first event, and here we are. Yeah.
Have you made any modifications since then?
Not yet because I don't have the cards to do so, but I do know something I'm going to cut out, and I'm actually going to get to that in just a second.
Cool.
So for backups, we've got 3 of this ninja. Again, we just want a lot of ninjas for the edge, and also he can conditionally destroy backups of 3 or less, which is nice. This ninja at 3 of, again, ninjas can do damage to a forward, all well and good. This ninja at 3 of, I like it because frequently you can do a little blink damage either through this ninja or maybe through a shuriken from edge, and then drop this for getting a shuriken counter and 5k on a damage forward, which lets you hit a little bit maybe above the pay grade of resources you've spent to get there.
Seeing these guys at 2, how often do you just open up and just drop 2 backups on your first turn?
I actually don't think very often. I think in most matchups or in most of the games I've played, I almost always immediately open into either a Mina for a search or just honestly straight into a forward. I think if you can drop Edge turn one, there's nothing wrong with that. And most games, if I have Edge in my opening hand, I tend to just drop them immediately. I tend to find that because I'm running 15 backups in the deck. So honestly, there's lots of hands in which I'm not even opening with a backup. But it hasn't been problematic. I would say maybe in the aggro matchup, but against control decks. Sorry for the Mina, she can tutor out a ninja, which is really important. Again, hitting Edge at any point of the game, still hitting any ninja could be really useful. Tsukinawa, Yuffie, really good card. Connie Senna is the one I was talking about I was considering dropping. Maybe I'm just not, like, I've only played the game for 3 weeks and I don't get her. But I feel like she never has really any valid targets and she's too expensive. So I'm going to probably drop her for a completely different one. But she's conditional break and also drops a backup at the same time. And that's my backup lineup. And then for the summons,
Oh, what were we gonna drop the 5-drop for?
that's what I don't know. I don't know enough of the card pool. Only 3 weeks. So.
Okay.
But I suspect something cheaper and maybe something that could. I know Wind has backups that let you bounce people back to hand. I think replaying out ninjas, especially the cheap ninjas, because you gotta think, like cards like this with Edge are free now. So bouncing this and replaying it does almost nothing to you in like card advantage wise, but gives you another Shuriken counter, which is super key to removal. So I suspect something that's going to enable me to do that. Moving on to the summons, we got Adramalik at 3. He's just a summon that rewards you for being aggressive. 9k for 1, it's nothing to sneeze at. I think that hits most things. Rama, I'm not sure how I feel about him, but I feel like when I hit him, especially against fellow aggro players, he works pretty well as a great way to quickly sneeze off of maybe a hasted threat. But when the situation arises, he's really great for answering a card that is signposted, if this stays here, you're in trouble. 2 of the Ramas at 3. They're toolboxy. I like them. I think in lots of circumstances you could at least get value out of one of these. And giving a lightning character haste is honestly never a bad choice if you're doing it on your turn. And the last summon I have is Alexander. He's kind of like Connie Senna. Point is breaking big things because, a lot of my bodies are small. I'm not going to really stand up in combat. So Alexander can be great to dispatch bigger threats. And also, since it's characters, I can also target big profile backups as well, which is pretty useful. And yeah, that's the deck. It's a Wind Lightning Ninja deck that just kind of goes for it. I feel like it's the kind of deck that when you're playing it, if you've won or lost pretty fast because you're playing out Edge, you're playing out your ninjas. And when Edge dies, if there's nothing you can really do about that, replacing him, or you don't have enough momentum to seal it off, that can usually just mean you're out of the game. But yeah, so that's the deck.
Cool. From the matches you had, let's see, you went, what was your record out of the 4 rounds?
3-1.
3-1. Okay,
Yeah.
So the match that you actually lost to, what was it?
It was the person who got second place, and it was an aggro deck that focused on party attacks, and I couldn't keep up with it because I was just slower than it, and he had first turn.
Okay. And for the matches you did win, was it, walk us through that.
So my matches 2 and 3 were against like slower control decks, and I just kind of slammed out damage like as fast as possible
Before they were set up?
Before they even had a chance to really fight back. And at that point, if they answer by killing Edge, at this point it doesn't matter, right? They've got 1 forward on the board and 6 damage to their name. There's not really much you can do to keep blocking all that. And again, the key in those is to do get as much value of Edge as possible before they can reasonably answer him, and to make them play inefficiently from the get-go to just kind of keep that advantage. And my 4th match was against someone playing Tactics Advanced deck that was, he had a bad, there's not much to say. He didn't get any backups and kind of just curbed him. But, the nature of the beast when you play card games.
Yeah. Is there any shout outs you want to give out?
Yeah, shout out to my brother who's playing the Tactics Advanced deck. I'm sorry you didn't get any backups. And thank you, Matt, for turning me onto this game and showing me this ninja deck list.
Yeah, well, thank you for walking us through your thoughts on it, and can't wait to see any of the new upgrades you're going to be doing the next time.
Yeah, hopefully next time I'll have more to say because I'll know what I'm talking about.
Not a problem. I think you did a great job. And for the viewers out there, if you're new to the game, it's always okay to check out some decks that are online. Try it out yourself, see what works, what doesn't work, because everyone's going to have their own opinions. So that's all for tonight. Everyone out there, don't forget to like, subscribe, click the bell. I don't know, whatever people say. I should really just come up with a script that I'm supposed to follow, but I'm just freeballing it.
Right, the checklist.
Yeah, the checklist. All right, well, peace out, guys.